This is my painted Witchfate Tor, and I actually think I did a better job with it than the Games Workshop version, which has this god-awful paint scheme. It's pretty much the worst packaging I've seen on a Games Workshop product. The wizard is well painted, looks great, but the actual model itself is so tacky, and I hate all the little odd details, things like that. So I went ahead and bought this, and I've gone with a very simple paint scheme for mine. Two YouTube users, Dull Spork and Dream Spirit War, have much more detailed versions of this, but here's what I've gone with. As you can see, it has 4 floors, okay, and they do come off. My inside I haven't finished. Another interior, and then this next floor is really not done at all. So I might actually go with the colored version down here, but for external use, it's done. Keep this in mind for later when I get to that part. So putting it back together it has to lock in, and I think Dull Spork explains it a lot better. If you're curious about how this mechanism works in reattaching, watch his video. Essentially though, what I was expecting from this was something more along the lines of one of these kits, which has a lot of variety and options. There's a lot of bits left over. You have a lot of choice. The basic watchtower. This one, which I'll be putting together soon. Oh, do you want to have this little window? I think you get to choose. Do you want this little griffin? All these little parts on the sprues are choices, and with this kit from Games Workshop, you don't really get the choices. Everyone's gonna have essentially the same layout. I thought maybe you could add these windows on. I don't particularly care for them. Okay? No, you don't have that choice. What if I don't want a door floating in the middle of nowhere? Oh, you can add a balcony. That's a choice, and probably for a lot of people it's not an option to not have one. So again, you can check out some other people's videos or other people's pictures, but that's what it would look like. It would not have any support from underneath, and I don't like it. So I'd rather just have this grating that goes off into the middle of nowhere, and I assume the wizard or whoever keeps this tower, they just open it and they toss out, whatever lackey or and so on. You get the idea. So here are the bits that I'm left over with. You get 2 wooden ladders, which is nice enough. They'll be useful for more time, or I could even use them in 40K. And you get a mysterious amount of these round, ruined tower pieces. It starts to look like a tower. So you get an odd assortment of these, and I still don't fully understand how exactly these will attach to your tower, and yet at the same time leave your tower, leave you the option of taking floors off, and so on. And I have 2 of these wooden platforms that also came with it. So focusing on some of the real flaws of this piece, maybe you've even noticed so far in the video, these 4 columns don't exactly look good. There's a gap here. Okay, so right now I have magnets, and the magnet's not even glued in. One's just resting beneath. Essentially, I could glue it to the bottom floor, which will push it out a little bit. So now it's leaning inwards. There'll still be this gap on the second floor, and you need to be able to take off the second floor, assuming you want to put miniatures on the inside or do anything with the inside, or even change what the second floor is. So that's the option that Dull Spork has done. He's glued it to the side. Okay, if you just put it out here, it will project into nothing. It's an empty back. Okay, so yes, I guess I could glue plastic card on the back and fill it in to make a solid piece, and then it could just stick out here. It's going to look odd because there's an angle. It's leaning forward. Okay, so with the magnet, it leans forward like this. I may end up gluing it. I'm still undecided, but that's what you're left with this weird design. Then on the top, if you notice, yes, we see the fronts of these. I call them fingers or spires. These points projecting up. That actually it gives it a really nice look. And then you have all these spikes, but you see the backs of them as well, and they're hollow. And I don't know why stone would be hollow. I think plastic could be hollow. So they're just that's a little odd detail that, you know, I don't quite understand. Oh, I also have inexplicably another one of these, which is nice. So thanks, Games Workshop. So you get two of these. I haven't glued mine in. And these trapdoors I could leave open or closed. Mine are not glued on. So that is a nice little touch. Okay, but essentially, what can I change about this model? I can switch this floor with this floor, and I can also make it shorter. Those are my choices. I almost forgot the one reason I don't want to glue these is because I like that you have 4 of these platforms, and essentially they make good pedestals for statues. So even if I know some people would either one get rid of the base, or they would paint the base, the border of the base, to match the tower to make it actually look like more of a stone pedestal. But I like this look, and I did these as stone warriors for a D&D game, and I think it turns out pretty well. Another little detail is I haven't painted the flames. I did seal this, but I can go back in and paint the flames of the candle. It's an odd thing to have lit during a battle, but I have to assume they're arcane, and so you can have little candle flames. So without the columns here, the pillars, I can actually also make a short tower, a very stunted one. This could be some kind of prison. The key feature here then is this outdoor exposed area, which kind of has a weathertop feel to it from Lord of the Rings. So yes, I can make a shorter tower, and then I can choose which floor becomes the second floor. And I can have a 2-story, or do you want to call this 3 stories? Either way, a shorter tower if I need to.